Hello everyone, it's Ty here. Happy 2025, y'all! I know I was completely absent for all of 2024, but this year I actually have some plans. I got some videos in the backlog that I'm gonna be editing and then most likely uploading. A batch of them in January for sure, and then some of it probably later on as well. Anyway, as you may have read from this title, I will be ranking the Alpha Timeline trolls and kids based on how good they'd be in a game of Danganronpa, you know, a killing game. This video was inspired by Guilty Flygon, who had this premise, but with the beta trolls, and I thought that, well, hey, he didn't do any of the alpha trolls and alpha kids, so what if I did that instead? I guess before we start though, I would like to say that even though it's not going to be on the tier list, I believe Caliborn and Calliope would make for great mascots for this section specifically because of their relevance to the Alpha Kids sessions as well. Just a classic Monokuma and Monami pair. Anyway, with that out of the way, let's go and discuss our central three, I suppose, from like a survivor category. It'll be the protagonist, the rival, and the protagonist's little buddy. Why did I put little there? Oh well. I will be following the similar ideas and formulas that Guilty Flygon does. I'll explain them still here if you haven't seen the video. But if you haven't seen it, you should go see it after you finish with this one, because it's good. He puts quite a bit of thought into this, and I respect that. So, for a protagonist, I believe that the best person out of all these 16 buggers would be Roxy Lalonde. Controversial to Danganronpa as a whole, yes. But I believe that Roxy fills the protagonist so perfectly, not only because she's the de facto leader of the Alpha Kids session, but also she has enough smarts and baggage on her to be a good protagonist, but also not be too smart, I suppose, like maybe a buddy or a rival would be. Speak of the devil, I think a sort of obvious rival based off of Homestuck itself would be Mina Pisces. Or as I prefer to call her, Mina Pisces. Anyway, Mina, I think Mina just generally has that sassy bitch attitude that would be great for a rival, especially in this game. Even if she isn't the smartest character exactly, I think she has enough in her to be a good rival, especially to Roxy, who in the comic itself and Homestuck, they do have beef for at least a little while, so I think that works well. As for the buddy of the protagonist, I think that role suits Jake perfectly. Jake just has this energy of unawareness to him, I suppose, that I think, you know, it's like the Watson to Sherlock, where he's except in this case, it's just the fact that he's kind of stupid. I'm sorry, Jake, but you are dumb as a bag of bricks. But that is a good thing in this case, because it could help Roxy move along with the cases, if I may say so. Because sometimes you need a stupid person's perspective to really understand the full picture, if I may say. Alright, now, on to the actual cases themselves. Case 1 is always the one where an important character to the story simply dies off suddenly. And the killer is usually just a throwaway character who nobody really likes. So I think that case 1 fits the role with the most fitting for this would be Kankri as the victim and Cronus as the black end. Now, Cronus is just completely unlikable, and I think he could really easily be motivated to kill. Though him killing Kankri is pretty interesting because I do believe that these two are mate splits in Open Mound. I'm not fully sure because I didn't see some of the dialogue apparently, or I missed some stuff. But I think it's an interesting dichotomy. Maybe Cronus was going for someone else, but then he actually got Kankri, and then he had to make a full cover up for himself. And also, his mental breakdown at the end of the trial would be amazing to watch, especially when it's Kankri. So that gets these two out of the way immediately. Case 2, I think, with it being the secret as a person holding a secret case, I think that fits to be Rufio and Damara. With Rufio as the obvious victim here. This is already pretty close to Homestuck canon itself, but Damara being very protective of her secret would just be appropriate enough, I would say. And while it's unfortunate to have to kill her off this early on, I think it fits well enough. And Rufio being the guy who people like a bit too much, according to him, I think that fits as well. Because usually the case to victim is usually someone who's like well liked enough or well respected within the survivor group. So Rufio going, I think that makes sense. Now, Case 3. Case 3 is the one where they kill off the filler Joe characters, mostly. Just like kind of throw them out there for like no good reason. And I think for this reason, it would be Horus the Hawk, with Mituna as the witness, and Kurlos as the killer. Because we can definitely get like this whole switch up with Kurlos. Like, he goes from this like pretty chill like very quiet clown guy, just like an absolute fucking insane psycho. Kind of like Gamzee, but to a lesser extent, I suppose. While Kurlos could be the mastermind, I feel like that doesn't really work for him because he's more of a puppet, if anything, I would say. Especially judging by how he was just like a cog in the wheels instead of like having a greater role, unlike Gamzee did in Homestuck. I think this is a pretty simple enough case. These guys just don't really have much merit to living on, if I may be honest. Like, I know people like these guys, but in story, they're kind of throwaway stereotypes, I'm afraid. I mean, it's bad to say that because most of the dance stars are like that, and well, some of them are like, but these two just they can't contribute much to the killing game as a whole, if I may be honest. Like, maybe Horus can build some machines, but by this point it would be better to get rid of him because the builder characters within Danganronpa itself tend to die early-ish on. I mean, I guess for exception, but then there's a different. So case 4, due to these circumstances here, I'm probably going to have to. It'll just be a singular character, much like how it was done in the Beta Kids session video. Spoilers for that, I guess. And I think the one character who would like sacrifice themselves would be Horum. She is a very like selfless person in general, and currently with a lot of important people still being alive to her, I think she would definitely go through with that just to like get them out of whatever sticky situation is holding them. And also, while I'm at it, I'm going to pull Atula in the survivors category because I think her mate split and then one of the closest people to her dying would make for just an incredible arc or of a sort, you know, just like it would give a good characterization, I think. You know, to make the bitch suffer. I'm sorry, Latula, you don't deserve it. Now, Case 5 is always the impossible case. And it's very interesting because I think there are two characters who would try to make an impossible case here. And it just like fits in like a dime. So I think it would be Dirk as the victim and Arania as the blackened cooperating to make an impossible case together. Because Dirk in general is just a very controlling, he's a control freak. He's a very controlling person who likes to take the action, and Arania is always looking out to do the best for her friends. And if enough convincing, I think Dirk could definitely get Arania on his side to like do the deed of killing him. Plus, Dirk just really likes to die in story, so, you know, I think it fits well enough. And now this leaves the mastermind, and in case you haven't figured it out from the two characters we have left, it's not gonna be Mulin. It's gonna be Jane Crocker herself. And this is for one simple enough reason. So Mulin survives. It's because of the Condes's mind control that was implanted on her very early on. So technically it would make the Condes the actual mastermind, but Jane would be the vessel. Now, if they can get rid of the mind control without having to kill Jane, then she could still be one of the survivors. But as it goes right now, she is definitely the mastermind because, well, for one, no one would expect it to be that. No one would really expect her, like, Betty Crocker associations to lead the way, especially after they got, like, most of their memories wiped. So, like, Roxy and Dirk's and Jake's warnings wouldn't really matter to her. Well, I'm pretty sure it was Roxy and Dirk doing the warnings. And with how just like caring she is, and generally how like well-meaning she usually is, people don't expect her to be the mastermind, and she might not expect that really herself, because again, this will mostly be down to mind control on the Countess's end. And I think it would make for a pretty interesting case 6 real, you know. Anyway, that was, I would say, the Alpha Kids' and Alpha Trolls' killing game. So these are the 5 who survive. Mulan and Lutula are gonna be fucking broken up by the end of this. I would also love to see the pre-execution scene between Mina and Arania. I think that would go hard. These two, I love these two. I think that would go crazy. Arania would probably be pretty bummed out about Porum sacrificing herself as well, because they did have something going on, something that Arania still seems to hold on to, so to speak. And also, I think Mulan having her former mate spread and current Moirail be like killed in one case would hit her pretty crazy. Like these bitches are getting roughened up through this for sure, absolutely. And also if Jane lives, that would also be like pretty neat. It would also give like a very nice even split between 3 trolls and 3 kids. Which is pretty cool. Anyway, that's about it for this short little video. Hope you all enjoyed. If you have any thoughts about how this ended up, do tell in the comments below. But until then, I'll see you all in the next one. Later.